This weekend I went to see One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson's latest film, loosely adapted by him from Thomas Pynchon's novel Vineland. It's the story of a group of would-be revolutionaries who, during the 1990, the late 2000s, conducted a guerrilla war against the American authorities, in particular, incurring the interest of Captain Stephen Lockjaw, who discovers a passionate lust for one of its main members, Perfidia Beverly Hills. Perfidia, however, is in a relationship with one of the other members of the group, an explosives expert played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and ultimately is forced to spend the night with Lockjaw in order to keep the rest of the group free. However, when she gives birth to a child, she continues going on with her revolutionary activities. A bank robbery goes wrong, and the whole group is forced to go on the run. Perfidia is caught and sells out her remaining team members. Our main character and his daughter go on the run, acquiring new names, and live in a state of constant paranoia somewhere in California in the fictional city of Backton Cross. But decades later, or rather nearly 20, Lockjaw re-emerges and is determined to track down the remaining members of the terrorist cell. It's firstly, it's a very thick, complex story. There is the prologue section runs to about half an hour, explaining the backstory of all the characters, but it runs through it in a very clear, methodical way. The film's labyrinthine complexity is very well balanced out by the direction. It's never unclear what's going on or why characters are doing things. There is deception and lies and half-truths and untruths inherent in a story like this, but everything is clear, everything is clarified in a way that is both cinematic and elegant. Leonardo DiCaprio as the character who takes the name, Bob Ferguson, is superb. It's his best performance in quite some time, and there is a pervasive humour to the movie. It feels almost Doctor Strangelove in style, in terms of portraying this uh, version of modern America that's virtually a fascist police state, with Lockjaw trying to ingratiate himself in a secret club that is very obviously a white supremacist movement for the rich and powerful, with police and DHS crackdowns causing riots in the streets, guerrilla warfare blowing up unoccupied government buildings. It could not feel more timely. I mean, even if this film had come out 1 week earlier, it would have not. It would have felt different, and it would have hit different than it actually does. Um, it's a funny film, but the humor is bone dry and pitch dark. Lockjaw is this horrific caricature of a person, brilliantly played by Sean Penn, who seems to take to this character somewhat naturally, and once the film came out, immediately disgraced himself by saying that we need people like Charlie Kirk in the conversations to inspire compromise. Yes, we should definitely compromise with Nazis, and showing that he learned basically nothing from making this film. But overall, the film really shows Paul Thomas Anderson's absolute virtuoso skill as a filmmaker. This is a masterpiece, and it's in a career almost filled with masterpieces. There Will Be Blood and Punch Drunk Love, I think, are utterly superb, effectively perfect films. And although his previous film, Licorice Pizza, I felt was somewhat self-indulgent and unengaging, I thought that by that point he kind of earned the right to make a film like that, to make a film that was just plunging his own interests. I mean, after that and Phantom Thread, which was also brilliant, Inherent Vice, a previous pitch and adaptation, which I enjoyed, which had more of a mixed reception. I had high hopes for One Battle After Another, and it really is brilliant. It's thoughtful and perceptive about society, about conflicting ideology, about race in America, about class, about um, issues of migration. It's a film that covers a huge range of concepts and ideas, but does so with an incredibly light, delicate touch, even while it's mainly a thriller about a man hunting down his kidnapped daughter. It's a really fascinating, engaging, thrilling, funny piece of work. Brilliantly written and directed, brilliantly acted. Um, it did feel towards the end like there was this feeling getting slightly too long, like it could have wrapped up a little bit faster, but it's a really tremendous film. It is the film of 2025. No other film I've seen has symbolized what it is like living in this year. Um, I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's absolutely superb. It's my favourite film of the year so far. It's terrific. I'm thrilled that it's had the positive reception that it's had from both critics and audiences. This is the kind of film that you really want to be a huge hit.